Hi, this is jeevi from idlebrainlive.com. I'm here with Miss Malavika Mohanan. ఆమె చేసిన రాజా సాబ్ ఫిల్మ్ 9th January రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది.
Hello sir.
Your film, the first Telugu film, right? Straight film.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience in working in Telugu film industry, because you've worked in various languages so far.
Telugu, okay, so one thing I always feel every time I'm asked this question is, and I have worked in, like you rightly said, it's my first Telugu movie, but I have previously worked in Tamil, Malayalam, one movie in Kannada and Hindi. And I've come to realize that it's always the people that you're working with, the team that you're working with. So every set is different, more than the industry as a whole being different. That's
Right.
something, in my personal opinion, I have come to realize. But Telugu, because it's become, I feel everyone's looking at Telugu since a lot of years. This industry has produced some of the biggest box office hits we've seen in recent years. Some of the cult directors that have been produced in India in the recent years, some of the biggest stars. So I had this thing that if, like, when I'm doing a Telugu movie, I want to enter it with a bang. I'll be very honest. I wanted to
Right.
enter with a bang, and I wanted it to be a special film. I didn't want to do a movie that not a lot of people would watch, or not a lot of people would hear about, or a movie that would not get enough buzz. So I was waiting for the right project, and I've been getting offers since a lot of years, since a long time actually. But I was caught up with other projects. The dates didn't work out, or like I didn't get the project that I had in my mind. And a lot of people told me, you're being silly. Like, start small, and then you can grow.
Right.
But I was this dreamer who was like, no, I want to enter with a bang. So when Raja Sab, like when I signed Raja Saab and I got on board, I was like, this was my dream and it's finally happening. So yes, Telugu with a bang.
Right. Your father is a very big cinematographer. Have you have that inclination of looking at the technical aspects, and especially from the cinematographer point of view? Did you learn anything from your father as a child?
Not directly about cinematography as such, but I feel like every child picks up what you're exposed to at a young age, at a very formative age. Developed a very strong love for visual arts, be it cinematography, be it photography, be it art, sculptures in general, because I grew up in a very artistic household with two very artistic parents. My mother is a writer.
Right.
She also worked as a journalist for a lot of years. So our house was full of movies and world cinema and books and art and culture, and it was all about that. Conversations were about that, and I watched a lot of interesting films while growing up alongside my father, which wasn't a conscious attempt that, I want to make this. He wasn't like, I want to make her sit and make her watch these movies. Like, he's watching, so automatically I'm watching. So I think subconsciously, which is how it happens in every household, I feel I picked up certain tastes, certain interests from both my parents, and one of them being, I love visual arts. I love photography. For me is therapeutic till date. I love traveling, and one of the reasons I do is I'll travel with my DSLR. I don't post a lot online, so not a lot of people know about this.
Yeah.
I post my wildlife picture, like I take wildlife photos too. I post that a little bit. But I love taking pictures of people when I'm traveling. Be it like different parts of the world, different cultures, Thailand or Istanbul, or I went to Mexico last year and I loved the culture. And for me, photography is very meditative and very therapeutic, and a complete cut from this aspect of my life.
Right. I saw your Insta profile. I think you posted about Paris coming in full cycle. Like, earlier your parents used to take you, and now you are like doing it in reverse. So, which are the best places you visited so far? If you have to rank them.
In general,
Yeah.
my
the
favorite
ones-
countries I've
Yeah.
been to.
Yeah.
Okay, so one would be Tanzania.
Hmm.
I feel it's one of the best places in the world to see wildlife. And it's one of the few places left in the world where you get a sense of being very primal, being very primitive, which is not there anymore. Like even in India, India has beautiful forests, but most of our safaris are very 2-3 hour safaris. You enter from one gate, you do like one round, and then you exit after 2-3 hours. But in Africa, it's not like that. You start at 6 in the morning, the entire day you're driving from one part to another part, and 6 to 6 you're in the wild, in the jeep, in the safari, and you're seeing a cheetah killing a deer. I've seen a leopard having freshly just killed a deer and just climb up the tree and eat it. And I have a photograph of that. And as I was clicking, it like looked right at me. So it's like eating a deer and the eyes are like, you know, so you get such beautiful moments that you don't, where else can you get things like that in today's day and age where there are people everywhere, so much population, and everything is very, very curated. Everything's a very curated experience. But Africa is still very primal. Sorry, I give a very long answer for that. Right. Tanzania, I'll keep the next one short. I love Mexico. Beautiful country, very far from India, exhausting to get there, but stunning country, lovely food, lovely culture. And third one, okay, I'll tell you a country that's already my favorite, but I haven't been there yet. But I've read a lot of authors from there and watched a lot of filmmakers from there, Japan. I want to see Japan. It's my dream
I've been
to.
there.
See, now I'm jealous of you. I want to. I feel it's an interesting culture. You would know better if you've been there. But I've heard only fantastic things. And I want to see cherry blossoms as well.
Yeah. So these three.
These three. A lot more. But for now, these three.
Right. So coming back to the Raja Saab, it's been like a long time, like 3-year process. So what was the brief that is given to you when you were cast in the film for your character?
When Maruti sir narrated the film to me, the character to me, the first thing that I was very pleasantly taken aback by and very grateful for actually, because as actors, see, we don't control things beyond an extent. What I mean is that we are choosing from the opportunities that are coming to us, right? So if say 3 films are coming, you listen to every movie and you see, okay, what is the best fit for me? What is the nicest film to be a part of? And I knew it was of course I was told that it's a Prabhas movie, which itself I was excited about. But when I heard the narration, I realized that this character has so much to do in the movie. Like she's there pretty much start to end. She has romance, she has like dance, she has action. And I was like, wow sir, I was not expecting such a well etched out, like so much to do, such a well drawn out character. And he was like, yeah, you know, this is what it is. So I think that's something that really excited me, that there was a lot to do and not just come, be a love interest and go.
That's nice. So how is it like working with Mr. Prabhas, and so what are the vibes with
the
him?
vibes.
Yeah.
That's the correct question. What are the vibes? I've never been asked that in an interview before. What are the vibes? But I think people should use it more because it's so accurate. The vibes are, so I have heard a lot about that Prabhas sir is shy, he's an introvert, and I've seen how he is in public events and otherwise I've seen movies, right? But I was very pleasantly surprised to find out that he's a very engaging conversationalist. He is a very good talker. He can hold a conversation superbly in a fun way, in a way that he's a great listener. So if you're talking, he listens to you really well. He's not one of those who's waiting for his chance to speak. Like a lot of people do that. But he's also a fantastic listener. And he knows, he keeps the mood fun. So that is a very lovely atmosphere to have on set. Like someone who keeps it fun, who's not too serious, who's not arrogant, who's very all inclusive. Like everyone have fun together. So he makes sure that that's the vibe. That's a good vibe.
Yeah.
And he sends great food, which always makes the vibe 10,000 times better.
So what is the food that is like you really liked and you felt very special from the food he has sent you? Any favorite among that food?
Chicken biryani.
Okay.
His chicken biryani is the best in Hyderabad, hands down.
Right. Coming to your film Thangalan, while looking at your Instagram, and you're seen as a very glamorous actress, but you took everybody by surprise with the portrayal of the character, and it was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, so I mean, it is like the director's choice in keeping you for I'm casting you for that role, and the way he extracted, the way he written, and the screenplay wise also the character has different layers. You know, a little of it is revealed, and by the end of the film, you will come to know the exact
whole different story.
Right. So, how was the working experience? And I think you should be very proud of your character in the film and that film.
Oh, thank you. It made my day to hear that, because Tangalan is the hardest I have had to work for any movie. I work hard for every movie that I do, but not every movie requires that. But Tangalan required me I didn't know ABCD of action when I signed that film. And I really wanted to work with Paranjit, and I wanted to play that character because I had heard that it was a fantastic character. As female actors, you don't get it's not very often you get chances to play characters like that. Like, how often do you get to play a tribal goddess, right? And I really wanted to be a part of that film for that reason. And I somehow, we did the look test and everything, and Ranjit sir gave me a heads up. He was like, you'll have to it's like a 180 shift. You'll have to learn action, or you'll have to learn silambam, you'll have to learn stunts, you'll have to work on your physique. You'll really have to chisel your body, because half of the believability that you are a warrior goddess is looking like one.
Right.
So it was a very physicality driven role.
Yeah. Like a huntress, basically.
Yeah, like the moment you look strong and have a toned physique, people will believe that, okay, you can fight.
Right.
But if you look like soft and little plump and curvy, you won't look like a fighter. So it was a very, very physical role. And I remember I was shooting for something else that time, and I would shoot for 12 hours, come back at night, do my stunt silambam training, go to sleep, wake up in the morning at 5, again train for Tangalan, go to the other shoot. So my days didn't have enough hours. I was working for on some days 16, 18 hours to say the least. And but the film required that. It required that prep, and I've done this for a year and a half, or a little more maybe, because the film went on for a while. It was a complicated, logistically slightly complicated film. But I had such a good time doing that. Of course it was hard, there's no taking away from that, but I feel like you learn so much about yourself in the process. I learned what my body was capable of, and I have so much respect for my body. It's not about looking good or not looking good, or looking fit or looking hot. It was about the strength to do certain things. I got so much better at fighting, I got so much better at stunts. And when you are opposite an actor like Chiyan Vikram, you really have to up your game, because he's a pro who's been doing it for decades. So if I don't do it correctly, nobody would have believed that our characters can fight with each other. They would have been like, hey, he's fighting, but how is she winning? She's not fighting well.
Right.
So I had to be very convincing. So that took a lot of hard work. Even now when I think of it, I'm exhausted. I'm I work, that was a lot of work. But I'm very grateful I got to challenge myself that way.
Coming to makeup, it would have taken hours, right?
Makeup took 4 hours every morning, 4-5 hours every morning. So I would wake up at 3:30, leave by 4. Set was a very long commute. So reach by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9:30 is the first shot. So 4.5 hours we would be getting ready, and I would have to say, I can't even look at my phone, nothing. Because there's a team of 8-9 people working on me. One person is doing tattoo on this hand, one is doing tattoo here, They're doing my face makeup, hair, wig, and all of that. Then somebody's painting red on my feet and everything. So we came up with a whole system that while you're doing this, you do this. So like,
Multitasking.
there are 8 people on me at different points doing things. And we did this for like every single day. And then once you finish that and you go back to the hotel, to take that off takes another 1.5 hours because it's full, you're in red paint and you can't. I thought about, okay, what if I just go to sleep like this? Like I try to think of all hacks. Go to sleep like that, wake up, put on the costume. But no, you can't. We're doing so many stunts that the red paint is sort of, it goes at the end of the day. The tattoos start sweating out. And also you can't sleep in chemicals. You need to clean
unhealthy,
the body.
yeah.
It's unhealthy. It's not good. So my brain went to all possible solutions, but so it was a very complicated process.
Right. And coming to Raja Saab, it is shot in a big, very big and very majestic looking and at the same time creepy looking set. So how different is the experience working for such a big budgeted film, and it also has some kind of mystic or
horror elements, surreal elements.
Right.
It was firstly I was very impressed with this set. It's a very well designed set. I mean, when you watch the film, you'll get a sense of it. It's designed by this production designer Rajivan, who's very talented. He's done some of the biggest movies across industries. Actually, he works in all industries. Malayali person. But the house was fabulous. Like I remember as actors ourselves being in awe of the detailing. Oh, we've been shooting for a month. We never saw this here. We never saw this in this room. So every room was something different because of the concept of the film. But it was fantastic. It was fantastic to see, like you rightfully said, to see that scale and to be a part of something like that, and that vision was very exciting.
Yeah. So I see that there are elephants in it. I mean, probably graphically created.
Huh.
And what are the other animals we come across, because you are a wildlife photographer also?
See, I love tigers. They unfortunately didn't have a tiger in it, I think. Unless they're in a scene where I'm not there. Crocodiles are there, that we know.
It's there in the trailer, yeah.
See, the thing is, even I don't know, because what if there are animals in scenes where I'm not there? And also we don't know in CG and VFX what has come, right? So we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Among the other actresses, I think all are there in the palace itself. So you must have had lots of interactions with the with Nidhi and Riddhi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about the bonding, or how you interact with each other.
I realized that when we were shooting in Hyderabad, and majority of the film was shot in Hyderabad, there is a certain routine. Like we all come to set, we shoot, lunch break we go back to our caravan, and then we come back, shoot and leave. But I think we actually ended up bonding quite a bit when we went to Greece for our song shoot. We went there for all our song shoots, and there we ended up bonding quite a bit because we would all like chill together. We would be getting ready in the same room, and we bonded. We had a lot of all three of us girls had a lot of fun there.
Right. When you go to shoots and abroad, so how does it feel? You would be like deep down, the photographer in you want to click pictures, and you may not be getting the right time.
I don't think my brain even goes there, because outdoor shoots are so hectic that you're always running late. There is some confusion about something, so my brain doesn't even want to think of photography or cameras or anything at all. I leave that for my holidays and my trips, because also when I work, I'm like a horse with blinders. I was not like that when I was younger. I think I didn't know better, but over the years I've just become like so focused, and I really want to like get it perfect. I want to give it my best. Whether people like it or no, that you can't predict. That is not in our control. But like I've become someone who goes all out. with whatever I take up. So I'm a horse.
Completely focused.
Yeah.
on
And
what
I've
you
trained myself to be that way because I've been through projects where I haven't been focused, where I was young and I was silly, and and I've seen the film later and I'm like, oops, should have done a better job. So I've learned from my own mistakes, and so now I try not to let that happen.
do. Your father has done lots of Hindi projects right from his starting of his career. So, were you brought up in Kerala, or you also, stayed in Mumbai? Because I see you speaking good Hindi.
I've always been a Bombay girl. I've grown up, lived there because Amma and Achan lived there. They moved from Kerala at a very young age, and so me and my younger brother, I have a younger brother, we were born there. So I'm an out and out Bombay girl. But if you come to our house, it's like an oasis of Kerala in the middle of Mumbai, because our house looks like we've got traditional Kerala elements. Amma makes Mallu food at home. We speak Malayalam at home. Me and my brother speak fluent Malayalam. We watch Malayalam movies. So I feel like my parents really kept the culture alive, and that's something I'm very grateful to them for, because as a kid you don't know the importance of it, but once I became an adult, a lot of my sense of identity, a sense of my belonging comes from being connected to my roots. And while Bombay is like a hustling, bustling city, it doesn't really ground you. It has nothing to like, who are you? Where are you from? What is your culture? It doesn't have that aspect. And I feel like the moment I go back to my hometown, I know who I am. And I derive a lot of who I am from my roots. So I'm very glad my parents kept the roots alive.
Right. You have done several films in 4 languages. So, what are your favorites? If you can name top 3.
Trick question. Okay, not a trick question. My favorites. It's very tough for me to pick this in an objective
sequential,
way.
yeah.
In an objective way, I would say. Because I feel like my favorites are the films I felt like were turning points in my career. Now, your opinion on it as a good film or not a good film might be different as a piece of cinema.
From your perception.
From my perception, like for instance, when I did this movie called Beyond the Clouds, that not a lot of people know about, but it's a film I did few years back, directed by Majid Majidi, who's an Oscar-nominated filmmaker.
Right,
Iranian filmmaker. Right. It was me and Ishan Khattar, and it was like a, whatever you want to term it, whatever the art house, indie, it was not an out-and-out mass commercial movie. But that was a very big turning point in my career, because a lot of other big actresses wanted that role, but Majidi sir chose me for that movie. So that created like a lot of news at that point, and that got me a lot of like other movies, a lot of buzz, which got me more work. The fact that I got to work with an Oscar-nominated filmmaker, that was a very big turning point in my career. So that film is special in that way. Master for me with Talapati Vijay was very special because it was my second movie in Tamil, and my first film as a leading lady in Tamil. And I got to do that with someone like Vijay sir, who has this insane fan following. And I had a lovely time working on Master. Like that crew became like family to me. I am till date close to Vijay sir, I'm close to Lokesh. Anirudh is a good friend. Jagdish, who produced the film, is a very good friend. So that equation has stayed alive. And they were one of the reasons that for a long time, Tamil cinema felt like home, still feels like home, but they are the reason for that. So Master was very special for me in that way. So these two films were turning points for me, because Master also gave me a lot of attention, a lot of exposure. And I've realized as an actor, you are nothing without exposure. You could be a fantastic actor, you could be a mediocre actor, but if you don't have the right kind of exposure, how will other filmmakers or whoever know who you are, how you act, how you look? So exposure, I've come to realize, is extremely crucial. It's as crucial as developing skills or being good.
Right. I've seen several films of Majid Majidi. Uh, like his films are mostly concentrated on children's.
Yeah.
And like 20 years back, I used to hire DVDs and watch them. He's like a celebrated director across the world. So, can you tell me any insights about him, since you worked as an actress?
So Majidi sir, because he's from Iran, speaks only Farsi. He doesn't speak English and he doesn't speak Hindi either. So every time he would direct me, it was via a translator. So that process was so, like, to a person who's watching it, it was such a confusing process, because, and he would talk in this very passionate way, because he's like super, like he's a very verbose person. So he would be like, no, she has to go here and she has to pick this up and then she has to look at him and she has to have a sadness in her eye, and he'll be saying all of this. And then I'll be looking at him because I'm not understanding anything he's saying as it's in Farsi. And I'm like, okay sir. And then I look at the translator, and the translator will also try to match his energy. So he'll be acting in the same way. Like, no, you have to go here, pick this up, look up, and then have this sadness. So, and then I would say something and again it would be translated back. So that process was quite a wild way to be directed, but he's a lovely man. He's a beautiful man with a beautiful soul. He loves children. He loves the smaller emotions in life.
Yeah.
That's why he makes films about very simple things. And he likes telling stories about people whose stories never get told. The downtrodden, people who come from the lower strata of the society, who never get a platform to showcase to talk about their hardships, or so he likes telling stories about them, and I really like that he does that.
Director Maruti is known for his comic sense. So, is there a humor side to you in this film, Raja Sab? Or situational comedy where
situational, but it's more of no. There are the comedians bringing in the comedy aspect. And it's really funny comedy, because when while doing the scenes with them, with the entire team, like it was very hard not to laugh when the shot was happening, because they would be like Saptagiri and like all of like they VTV Ganeshan sir, like they would be so funny. So we just wanted to like burst out laughing, but we would like really hold our expressions. At the moment Maruti sir would say cut, we would all like just erupt into laughter.
Right.
So they're doing a fab job with the comedy. Comedy is something that scares me a little bit to do. I think it's a very, very, very few people are blessed with the ability to pull off comedy in a non-cringe, non-awkward way. So, yeah.
Have you seen any of Prabhas' film earlier before committing this one?
I feel all the films I've seen of Prabhas sir have been in the last 10 to 15 years.
Since Bahubali?
Since Bahubali, and then I've seen like a few of his like Mirchi and all back in the day, because it was like the dubbed version used to come in, because that time OTT was not there. No, while growing up, OTT was not really a thing. They would release dubbed version in certain
Hindi,
channels, Hindi channels. And I didn't grow up exposed to a lot of Telugu cinema. I grew up in Bombay. I would watch Hindi, I would watch Malayalam. So Tamil and Telugu are like, since the last few years is when I've been more savvy with it. Yeah. So
which one I mean, when it comes to Mr. Prabhas, what do you like in him as an audience before Raja Sab happened? What is your impression as an audience?
I had a very big crush on him after I watched Bahubali. I was like full on smitten. I thought he looked, especially as that character, right? As a king, as a prince, not everyone can pull it off. The physique, the regality, the attitude.
Regality is something.
Regality is something that's very hard to find in most actors.
Right.
And he did that so well, and he was so charismatic in that role that I was quite, I've been a very, very big fangirl ever since.
Right. I mean, you said you wanted to start your Telugu career with a bang. So you must have been approached by other films as well in the past, which you might have rejected.
Yeah.
So what is your roadmap in Telugu from now?
Moving forward,
Yeah,
I want to work. It's my wish to work with makers who write good roles for women,
right.
memorable roles for women, because I feel like that's something that's lacking sometimes in some movies. Because I have realized that if you go and just do a big movie with a big star, it will get you buzz when the announcement comes out. Maybe it's like a cool thing to say in interviews, I'm doing so and so film with so and so person. But the only thing that stands the test of time is doing good roles and having memorable characters. Because even now, when we look back at certain actresses who are loved and whose work is respected, be it Sridevi or Madhuri Dixit, Anushka Shetty, Shobhana ma'am, whoever, so many of them. We love them because of the roles they've played.
Right.
And that is the only thing that can etch you in someone's memory. So I want to work with makers. It's my wish to work with makers, and I hope I get to do that, who write good roles for women and who present women in a nice way as per whatever the character is, no? Who do you justice, because very few makers do you justice.
Right.
So I hope I get more of that.
Yeah. What was the most funny or enjoyable moment on the sets of Raja Saab?
I think every day was funny only, because like we were talking about how, like I was saying, almost every scene in Raja Sab has comedy. And because our lovely comedian actors are so talented and so funny, including Prabhas, I forgot to name him in the last one. Prabhas, BTV sir and Saptagiri, they're all so funny that, and Satya, that every scene was like, there were so many scenes during which Prabhas sir would just start laughing while the shot is going on, and he would just be like, I can't control, it's just so the entire shooting was a laughing riot.
Right. So what are the other films you're doing now?
I did this movie called Sardar 2 with Karthi sir,
Right.
in Tamil. Even that just got over. So that's up for release, I don't know, like maybe March, April, sometime like early 2026.
Right.
So that's my immediate release after Raja Saab.
Okay, Sardar 2 has got nothing to do with Sardar 1 in terms of the actresses, because I think Sardar 1
they're diving into a different story.
Okay.
So the
It's
characters
kind of
change.
a franchise film rather than a sequel.
Film. Yes, but the characters change.
Yeah, it's like Sardar is a espionage character, so the character remains same, but the concept.
Correct. The other characters change, but Sardar is the same. So it's a franchise film.
Right. So Raja Sab is releasing on 9th of January. I hope it becomes a blockbuster and opens many doors for you in Telugu as well.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.